and welcome back to the Tygon and Pebbles channel. Once again, this is Tygon, Papa Tygon, and as you can see, this is baby Pebbles. In this video, we were going to touch on the 5th month of baby development, as well as go to the week recap of what we've gone throughout this week, as far as tools and also parental experiences. With that said, we'll get into it. And I want to express to you that this is a long-term goal that I've been focusing on, which is to highlight the specific months of our baby, I guess you could say, milestones. And with that said, we focus a lot on how or what the experience has been on each month, and we're towards the end of the 5th month. And with this week, we will finish the 5th month, and next week we will start fresh with our vlogging and our day-to-day and our experiences as we go. So I would like to speak about the babbles as milestones, and you will, as a first time or as a second time or as non-experienced parent, you will experience babbles from your baby, and these babbles can turn into gibberish or blah blahs, or eventually forming a word, either no or ma or nay or no, depending on what no, right? No in Spanish, no, or no in Dutch. But overall, for the global baby, it depends. But for the most part, some words are universal, right? Like ma, mama, and no. So I'll leave it at that. Smiles, definitely. Smiles, as you can see, can be contagious, and or overall, you will get a smile here and there, and that's adorable. That'll make your day for sure. Rolls, baby will continue or start to wanting to roll, and as well as crying. Crying has different types of tones and different types of I guess you could say melodies. Crying can be something definitely that can occur on a daily basis. And eating, definitely, this month we've experienced we've introduced eating and doing little small bites here and there, and so we've introduced that. We've gone from sweet potato to peas to broccoli to banana to nectarine to let's see, I can't even recall most of them, but for the most part, she did like some of them and she didn't like others. Pooping has been a big, major change, obviously, because she's having solids, and so be aware that pooping can be extra this time, or it could be more solid or more dry. So just for your information, sleeping with being frightened when they sleep, that's something that can happen, and or they can disturb themselves, or something so small can disturb them. However, they tend to have baby dreams, and that'll wake them up, and they'll start crying or chatting or complaining, and so you'll hear that a lot. So you might have to creep into their room and soothe them, or put your hand on them, or sing them a lullaby, or make them feel at home. So waving hello, we're starting to adopt that and trying to practice that, and teaching Pebbles how to say hello and also how to wave bye. So as we continue, you will see the difference between hello and bye, and that's something we've adopted this 5th month and into the 6th month. Having conversations about what we do or what we're doing, that's something that I've elaborated a lot with my daughter, and what's going on, explain to her what's going on, and have full conversations, although she doesn't understand, and as far as an adult or as a child, but as a baby she does start to get an understanding of what's going on around her. And yeah, I explained to her how I feel sometimes about life, and how I feel about certain things, about other priorities or responsibilities around life. We try many new activities as we speak, and these actions, have different actions. So the activities will have different results. As you can see, I'm feeding her, and I'm playing helicopter, or I'm playing the train, and her reaction is, she's stunned, she's mesmerized, she wants more, she's hungry, she's happy, she's joyful, and it's just a mix of emotions and these actions that I'm attempting to do. Now, of course, a mom is going to be much more quicker in feeding the baby because they're not on a routine or schedule. But as a father, I tend to adopt what was practiced on me, and also what I think is best to have her salivate and enjoy her food, and also cherish, what she has. So I have a different perspective of how I practice certain actions. So that's an example for sure. Tools. Toys, something to think about. Toys is rubber or plastic or something that, something that you might want to consider. Toys don't have to be hard or big, but they do have to be safe, and toys that babies are going to want to put in their mouth. Something to consider for sure. Just revise or double check. And as you know, teething is something that they will experience from 4th month all the way up to, until they start getting their new teeth, front teeth or bottom teeth. Steam foods is something definitely from the tool section that I expressed earlier. And steam food is definitely something that you're going to want to consider for sure. That's the only way that you can feed a baby and consider them being on a specific strict eating or feeding routine. Rubber spoon, definitely, as you can see, that's the rubber spoon that we have going on, and it's fun. I mean, something that catches her eye, and she's also intrigued on how it feels, and it's soft, and it's something to nibble on. Birth cloths, as you can see, sometimes my hoodie can become the birth cloth. Although you will be prepared, you will be caught off guard for sure. Fruits, definitely, fruits is something that I just talked about in the milestone. Fruits can vary, and vegetables can vary, so just be aware and do some research on what fruits and vegetables can be eaten. Humidifier is something that we practicing, either because the baby has mucus, or they can't breathe, or they have clogged mucus glands, or nasal cavity. So there's something to help the baby and making them feel much more relieved. Vitamins, we do practice with giving them or her a vitamin by giving them the little oil or liquid, and it helps them to stay healthy and well nourished. So if we lack something, that's something that definitely can cover that. And moving on to parental experiences, our baby's growing, and she's growing very fast, and I'm sure you can experience that as well with your loved ones or with your baby. And it's not something that we look forward to, but I think that's also part of life. And the first year definitely is the year where you notice so many changes, but specifically the first 6 months is when you definitely notice major changes in your baby. Of course, from going from seeing your baby be born to having the baby in your arms and in your hands, to all of a sudden the baby waving at you and starting to learn how to pedal or kick or swim. And it's something that is down to earth and shocking, because you don't think that the day will come where the baby eventually would become fully grown. But as the days go by, there's milestones happening, and there's the development happening in front of your face. And it's not something that's common, because obviously you're looking at things from a small perspective, from a focal point. And then as you see your baby blossom and grow, you're starting to see how growing is part of the development, is part of life, it's part of change, and you have to be open to that, which is something that not all of us are fully understanding overall. Another parental experience is starting to voice small gibberish, starting to voice what they desire, what bothers them, especially what bothers them when we put her romper. Sometimes it comes with buttons, and those buttons are from the bottom of the baby's thighs and crotch area, and those buttons are like clip buttons that you clip on, like you button on. And sometimes those end up in the top of her head, or in the back of her head while she's resting her head, and that'll hurt. So there's something to definitely be aware about, because the voice that the baby will use is a different tone, and also a screech, like a yell, or a screech, or I don't like it. And so you have to be conscious of that. Also, when you put a jacket or their coat, the baby's coat or jacket, or when you're putting on their clothes, of course they're not welcoming to you handling them or moving them around, or forcing them to put their little hands and arms through a little hole, and having to do that routine. And sometimes they get their routine, and sometimes they're just tired of it. Now baby Pebbles, when she gets closer to going to sleep, she'll start going off around 7. Prior to 7, when we're changing her, she'll start like throwing this tantrum where she says, like, I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to have my dinner, and I'm ready to go to sleep. And so that's something to look out for. Small blabbers, or blahs, or babbles, or gibberish. And it comes with a little blah blah mama, or coos. So that's something to consider for sure, or note down, and to be aware about, because you'll hear it for sure. Now, if by this time your neighbors are not telling you that the baby's not letting them go to sleep, that's a miracle for sure. Luckily we have amazing neighbors. Now sometimes our baby is not the baby that makes the sounds or noises or cries. Sometimes it's upstairs baby or downstairs baby, but sometimes it is our baby. Sometimes it's in the most randomest times where you're like, oh my goodness, like okay, like out of all this time you could have done it at a specific day in the daytime. But babies are developing, and so we need to understand that they have their own made up thought or mindset that like they think it's daytime or nighttime, and so they'll just express themselves how they need to express themselves. So be susceptible to that and be welcoming to that, because it's also a good thing. If you think about it, that also alarms you as a parent to be careful or watch out. And they'll express different needs for sure. Catching up with priorities. Catching up with priorities is definitely something that you need to look out for. When the baby is about to do their first smile, or they're about to make their first roll, or they're about to start waving, or start to put their hands in their pacifier and take it out, or put their hands in their baby bottle. At times your loved one or yourself will catch certain things, or you'll hear from the daycare. And don't be too hard on yourself, but just understand that sometimes it is possible to catch all those little first time moments, and sometimes it's just impossible. Sometimes you will be able to reflect back on when they first did this or that, but at times you will get more of it, and you will get a complete setting of their first action, whether if it's walking or whatnot. So just be aware that you have responsibility. So with that said, this is the 5th month. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if this helps you out, and please join us on this journey that we have as parents and parenting baby Pebbles. Love you. Take care of yourself, and if you can support Ukraine and the rest of the countries in these actions that are happening, please do so.